You don't win the game by going to the casino. You win the game by either owning the casino or never stepping in foot in front of it or investing in the casino. If you want to play options, but you don't want to be fucking super risky, what you do is you like to play leaps. Let's just be honest for a second here. I just broke some people's hearts. This is not 100% true. I know someone's going to come out of the woodwork and saying, well, that's not true. There's a guy on YouTube who's been doing it for 20 years and he's... Unless you have inside information, or you are playing leaps, or you are exercising it, or you are selling covered calls or something like that. I'm talking about 99.9999% of people, and I'm talking about swing and day trading options. Stocky, that's bullshit. I've been doing options for a year and I'm up 5,000%. That's great. That's great. But let me tell you something about the more risk and the more active your trading is, the more it becomes a casino. And what happens with a casino? The house always wins. Okay? My biggest wins have come from options, and my biggest fucking losses have come from options. This past year has been the greatest bull run in our lifetimes. You could have bought a leap on anything and made money. Okay? But there are rotations. And right now we are seeing a very, very, very fast rotations from sector to sector. Okay? And if you're in short-term options that you hold overnight and you don't happen to catch it at the right time, you're fucked because that money's not coming back in for a while and your option expires worthless by the time it does. With that being said, if I wasn't streaming, I would at least 90% less options trading. 90% less. Okay? Because you can give up an entire week or month's gains on one play. All right? Now, there is a reason why my options trades are generally day plays, because then I can just get in, get out, either make a few bucks and get out, and then it moons and you guys say, oh, same time tomorrow, or I get out for a small loss and then it moons and you go, ha, loser, whatever. But what I like to do is I like leaps. Okay, my two favorite types of options, and that I've been the most profitable over time, generally speaking with, are leaps and selling covered calls. Why do I say that? What are leaps? Leaps are generally, depending on your definition, but they're long-dated options. Now, they're 6 months to a year out or more. 2 years out, 3 years out, okay? What are these generally for? You believe in the long-term growth of a stock, but you don't want to be affected by the day-to-day, right? So, for example, my Oracle leaps, they're up, 120%, and they don't expire till next year, September. Oracle could drop 5% in a day, and I'm fine. 25% in a course of a couple months, I'm fucked. Now, the difference between having a Oracle call that expires September of 21 versus September of 22. This is going to be much cheaper, obviously, and it's going to move faster if I'm right. But if Oracle drops 3% in a day, I could lose potentially 40% of the value of that contract. Here, 5% maybe. Okay, you're paying for the protection. More importantly, the cool thing about leaps is you're basically leveraging yourself to buy shares of something in the future. So some of you guys are like, Stocky, I don't care about doing this because I just want to make the money, the premium on the options contract and sell it to somebody else. Totally cool. That's totally cool. There is definitely a strategy there. Or you can basically, it's like buying shares with margin or leverage, right? Let's say you decide, hey, I think APT. Okay, here's an example. You think that APT is going to be $20 a share again next year because we're going to go into lockdowns, mask mandates again, or even $15 a share, right? But you don't want to tie up all that capital right now on those shares waiting for it to go up. So you say, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to buy a $15 call for APT for, just for an example, for January, APT $15 call for January of 2023. That's a year and a half out. You know how much that's going to cost you right now? $166. But you have the right to buy 100 shares at $15. But that's so far out of the money, right? So why not go something shorter in the money? So here you go. Here's an even better opportunity. Not opportunity, but just so you have an example. let's say, forget APT because that's kind of very specific when we're coming to COVID. Let's take something long term. Let's say you believe that Starbucks. Let's go with Starbucks. You think Starbucks is going to be $150 next year and go to $200 by 2023, right? But you don't want to put all that capital on it right now. Right? Because you want that money working somewhere else, or you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm getting a raise next year. I'm getting this. I'm moving out. I'm going to have this. I'll focus on it next year. So what you do is you go into here and you go into Starbucks and you say, I'm going to basically leverage my position with an option. Oh my God, Starbucks is 125 today. So you go and you say, I am going to get myself a January of 2023, let's say $120 call, right? Or 125. So you want to buy, you think it's going to go to 150. It's at 125 right now, but you don't want to buy 100 shares because 100 shares is going to cost you $12,500. So instead, you can buy a 1/1/2023 $125 call right now for $1,480, right? So instead of dropping $12,500, you're dropping $1,480 for that contract. You're basically saying, I want to have the right to own these shares at 125, but I just don't want to drop the money on it right now. So let's say January of 2023 rolls around. Starbucks is 150, 180. Well, guess what? Your contract is probably worth a shitload, and you could probably sell that and just keep the money, but you want to own those shares. So now, at any time, you can exercise it, or you wait until the expiration date, and you say to yourself, you say to the person, hey, you know the guy who wrote the contract? Yeah, I want your 100 shares of Starbucks. Oh, yeah, I know they're 180, but I get them at 125. Thank you. And so now you pay $12,500, and you get your 100 shares. Oh, but they're worth 180. And you can keep riding them forever. Or you can immediately turn around and sell them. But now you got $18,000 worth of shares of something you want to hold long term for $12,500. So that's a $5,500 difference. Now, obviously, you got to minus the premium you pay for the contract, so it's less than that. But you saved a shitload of money. So you're basically leveraging yourself down the road. Now, for me, I generally wouldn't hold that long because if Starbucks continued up like this, by probably January of next year, if it was like 140 and you have a whole year to go to 125, you're probably going to be, these are probably going to be worth like $5,000 a piece. And I'd rather just fucking take the 5,000 here and buy, you know, something else with it. But remember, you don't want that. You want to have 100 shares and you want to have them down the road. So you have to decide how you want to do it. That's basically what a leap is. Covered call. So covered call is basically like almost like double dipping. So a covered call, I know I've said this before, but there's a few new people. So a covered call is probably the, in my opinion, smartest way to play options. It's equivalent to creating your own dividend stock, I guess would be a good way to put it. So for example, if you own Starbucks, let's say you have 100 shares of Starbucks, and you sell a contract, right? Because nowadays with retail traders, I'm going to be real with you. In the last year, Theta Gang is where the money's at. Because there's so many retail traders and so many young kids coming in trying to get rich quick in a system that doesn't allow that for 99.9999% of people. And the real winners are the people who are selling them that shit. So what happens is you own 100 shares of Starbucks, and there's some kid out there with his Robinhood account, and he's got his paycheck from wherever fast food place he works at, and he's like, oh, I have $10. I'm going to buy a lotto ticket. What can I buy for $10? Well, I can get a Starbucks 150 weekly, and it costs me $10. Well, if Starbucks moves, it's not going to get to 150, but if it gets to like 130, that thing could go up to $15, and I made 50% of my money, and I'll sell it to somebody else. All the while, everybody knows that Starbucks isn't going to 150. These kids are trying to play the premium and flip it to each other. It's like hot potato. The funny thing is you're the guy that owns the potato in the microwave. Oh shit, they want to play hot potato? All right, fuck it. Beep, beep. Here, kid. what you're doing is you're basically giving him the right to exercise those, you know, at 150. Now, why I like to bring this up is that the only way that this is going to end badly is if for some reason Starbucks announces that they are, you know, the new fucking Amazon or the new Microsoft, and they're opening up their own cloud platform and everybody's getting free coffee the rest of life, and it goes to 170 at the end of the week. Well, guess what? You have to give up your 100 shares. Oh, but that's cool because you made $25 per share because of how much it ran. So even though it went to 170, it's 150. You have to give them up at 150, but you still made $2,500 before selling it, before giving them up, because the stock went from 125 to where you sold it at 150. Sure, you missed out on some more money, but you made a shitload of money on the way up. And you get to keep the premium of the contract because you sold it. Now, it's obviously a very small amount of premium. But with the covered calls, because we all know it's not going to go that high, yeah, you're not going to make a lot of money, but if you're selling those kids that $10 contract against your shares and it expires worthless, you keep that $10 premium. So sure, you know, 100 shares at, you know, $12,500, $10 is not exactly a lot of money to make off of that, but really, unless it flies up and you make a shitload of money before giving up those shares, you're keeping that $10. And if you do that every week and sell it to some idiots out there, it's like dividends. You know what I mean? That $1,250, even if the actual underlying never goes up, theoretically speaking, $10 a week, 52 weeks, I mean, you're making $520 in basically dividends off of your $12,500. Yeah, covered calls can be a very, very good strategy. The best one to do, but isn't that lying to others? You're not lying to anybody. You're not promising anybody anything. You're saying, you want my shares? It's going to cost you $10. You're not promising and saying, hey kid, for $10, I'll give you all my shares. I mean, it's like going to the casino and you're sitting at a blackjack table. Okay? And the dealer is sitting here and the dealer is showing an ace and a down card. And the dealer goes, insurance? Is he lying to you? Is he scamming you? He's just saying, hey, listen, there's a chance I have a 21. Here's some money. You can probably protect yourself. There's always one idiot out there who takes the insurance. Okay? It is what it is. And so I love the idea of selling covered calls. And it's something I used to do back in the day. And it was profitable. It just wasn't exciting. And so remember, at the end of the day, guys, I am an entertainer and an analyst. That's what I am. I am not some fucking guru, some fucking genius trader who's figured a way to beat the system. Nobody beats the system. The system beats everybody in the end. Okay? Especially when you're an active trader. I am an entertainer, I am an educator, and I like to analyze shit and speculate. That's what I do. So, obviously, if I was being five-head, my ass would not be sitting here taking fucking Snapchat calls through earnings. I wouldn't even be touching options. I'd be sitting on my fucking divvy stocks and doing something else with my life, getting a real job, and continuing to dump money into that shit and letting it grow. And then in 20 years, when your account is down 90%, mine's up 150%, and I'm retiring early, that's the game. That's how you win the game. You don't win the game by going to the casino. You win the game by either owning the casino or never stepping in foot in front of it or investing in the casino. You get it? Don't play the casino, invest in the casino. That's how you win this game. Now, can you go into a casino and make a shitload of money every now and then? Sure. But if you take that money and use it to invest in something rather than going back to the blackjack table, that's how you win. Have some fun, enjoy, trade. You are not going to be the next, fucking guy that's selling YouTube ads out there, okay? It's not how it works. Have fun with it. Make some money. Sure, I've seen people in this community make ungodly amounts of money. And some of them take 90% of that win and dump it in some long-term shit and take 10% of it and keep fucking with it. And I've seen people make 1,000% and give it right back. And I see people who lie every day saying that they are fucking making millions and millions and millions and millions every single day, and they're fucking the most profitable people in the world. It is what it is, okay? 90% of what I do is fucking content and education and entertainment and analysts. That's what I am, okay? All right, now that we went on that rant, let's get back to it.